Hello friends, welcome back to our YouTube channel Nimbus Learning. I Pankaj Mishra again welcome you all at Nimbus Learning platform. This is your platform. So as all of you know that our most expected question series is going on for the NIC exam. So in this series, this is my first video for the compiler design. So in this video I have 10 questions. हम लोग each and every question को देखेंगे और we will see the solution in details. Okay, so this is my very first question. This is my first question. Calculate number of tokens, means you need to find out what number of tokens in the following given C statement, means this is a C statement is given. You need to find out what number of tokens. So first we need to understand what who is responsible in the compiler design to produce what tokens. So the very simple answer is what lexical analysis phase is responsible to generate what tokens by taking the source program as a input. Okay guys, so this is what C statement, switch input value, this is what open bracket case 1 semicolon b equal to what C asterisk d semicolon break semicolon default colon b equal to b plus plus semicolon break semicolon and bracket is closed. Okay guys, so अब यहाँ पे keywords को लेता है हमारा लेक्सिकल एनालिसिस फेज और उसके लिए क्या करता है टोकन जनरेट कर देता है. ठीक है, सो लेट्स सी हाउ मेनी टोकन इज देयर. यहाँ पे कितने टोकन से हम लोग फाइंड आउट करते हैं. सो इट विल जनरेट द फर्स्ट टोकन फॉर द स्विच बिकॉज इट्स ए कीवर्ड. दिस इज ए पंक्चुएशन सिंबल, so it will generate the second token for this one. Okay, this is whole string, so it will generate the third token for this one. This is again punctuation symbol, it will generate the fourth token for this one, and this curly bracket open curly bracket के लिए fifth token, case के लिए 6 token, 1 को अलग से कंसिडर करेगा 7 token, semicolon again punctuation symbol 8 token, 9 token for this one, 10 token for this one, and so 11 token for this one, 12 for this one, asterisk 13 for this one, semicolon के लिए फिर से जनरेट करेगा 14 for this one, 15 for this whole thing, semicolon के लिए 16, डिफ़ॉल्ट के लिए आपका कितना 17, दिस इज अगेन ए कीवर्ड, कॉलन के लिए 18, बी के लिए 19, दिस वन के लिए 20, इसके लिए 21, दिस होल थिंग इज व्हाट प्लस प्लस ऑपरेटर 22, 23 फॉर दिस वन. ओके, एंड फॉर ब्रेक दिस इज ऑल्सो ए कीवर्ड 24, फॉर दिस वन इज 25, and for this closed curly bracket is what 26. So how many total tokens is here? How many? कितने total tokens हुए हमारे 26. Okay, so which option is correct here? Option A no, option B no, option C yes. Option C is correct here, means 26 tokens we need. Okay, means 26 token is there here total. Okay, 24 no, so which option is correct? 26. How many tokens is there in this given C statement? Okay, 26 tokens. So this is a good question. Let's see the next question. This is the question number 2. Match the following according to output in list first and list second, means we need to match according to the outputs. Okay, सो हमें आउटपुट से याद रखना है कि किस फेज का आउटपुट क्या आता है. ठीक है, उसके बेसिस पे हमें उसको मैच करना है गाइस. ओके, सो स्ट्रीम ऑफ टोकन्स, सो स्ट्रीम ऑफ टोकन्स इज द आउटपुट ऑफ विच फेज? लेक्सिकल एनालिसिस फेज. इट टेक्स व्हाट सोर्स प्रोग्राम एंड प्रोड्यूस एज ए आउटपुट व्हाट स्ट्रीम ऑफ टोकन्स. ओके गाइस, so stream of tokens is output of which phase? As I told you, lexical analyzer phase. Okay, so this belongs to third, P belongs to third. Syntax tree, syntax tree as a output produced by which phase in the compiler? Syntax analysis phase. Syntax analysis phase takes what as a input, what stream of tokens, and produce what out as a output, what syntax tree. Okay, so q belongs to second. And what about the 3 address code? So 3 address code generated by the intermediate code generation phase as a output. Okay, so code intermediate code generation takes what annotated pass tree as a input and produce what 3 address code as a output. Okay, so 3 address code, this belongs to first, this belongs to first. So let's see यहाँ पे हम लोग मैच कर लेते हैं कि और किसका ऑप्शन क्या सही है. So P belongs to first, no, P belongs to third. So that's why option A is wrong. Check the option B. P belongs to third. P belongs to third. Yes, P belongs to third. रस्ट चीज़ें भी हम लोग चेक कर लेते हैं. Q belongs to first. Q belongs to second. So that's why option B is wrong. Q हमारा किससे बिलोंग कर रहा है? सेकंड से बिलोंग कर रहा है. यहाँ पे Q फर्स्ट से दिया हुआ है. That's why option B is wrong. Come on, option C. P belongs to first. Yes, P belongs to first. No, P not belongs to first. P belongs to third. So option C is also wrong. Okay, check the option D. P belongs to third. Yes, P belongs to third. Again, Q belongs to second. Yes, Q belongs to second. And R belongs to first. Yes, R belongs to first. So which option is correct here? D option is correct here. If we are going to match the list 1 with list second according to the outputs. Okay guys, so this is also a good question. Let's see the question number 3rd, what it is saying and what it is asking from you. Consider the grammar. This is a grammar, this is a given grammar. Okay guys, what it is asking from you, find the first and follow of S. Means it is asking you first and follow of the starting symbol of the grammar. First and follow of the starting symbol of the grammar. Okay, so how you can calculate what first and how you can calculate what follow? So very simple thing, first of S will become what? First of A. First of S will become what? First of A. So we need to calculate here is what? First of A. So first of A is what here? So first thing which you need to remember is what? First of S equal to what? First of A. Means whatever in the set of first of A, this will come into first of S. Okay, so try to calculate first of A first. First of A. So first of A is what? First of A. So terminal, first of terminal is what? Terminal. So A will come here. And again here this is again production. So first of A is what? First of terminal, yani first of B is what? B. Okay, comma B. And okay, so first of S equal to what? First of A. So first of A क्या हो गया हमारे पास? A comma B. But here we have S tends to epsilon also. So first of S directly contains what? Epsilon also. Okay, so first of S directly contains what? Epsilon also. So put here epsilon also. Put here what? Epsilon also. So like this. This is the first of S. This is the first of, ये क्या है हमारा? फर्स्ट ऑफ एस हो गया. ठीक है, तो फर्स्ट ऑफ एस में फर्स्ट ऑफ ए आएगा और एप्सिलॉन भी आएगा क्योंकि एस से डायरेक्टली आपका क्या प्रोड्यूस हो रहा है? टर्मिनल प्रोड्यूस हो रहा है. सो एप्सिलॉन भी आपका टर्मिनल है, सो आपका यहाँ आ जाएगा. ठीक है, अब हमें फाइंड आउट करना है फॉलो ऑफ एस. वी नीड टू फाइंड आउट व्हाट? फॉलो ऑफ एस. सो टू कैलकुलेट द फॉलो ऑफ एस, as I told you, first you need to see S is present anywhere in the right hand side of the production. So clearly you can see from here S is not anywhere present in the right hand side of any production. So what is follow of S? So as we know that also the follow of the starting symbol of the grammar is what? Dollar. Okay, so by default dollar is present in the starting symbol of the grammar in the follow set. Okay, so in the follow set of S, dollar is there. Okay, dollar is there. So this is the follow set of S. Dollar is there only because S is not presenting anywhere in the right hand side of the production. Let's check the option. This is the first and this is the follow. Okay, so first of S is what? A comma B comma dollar. Oh, sorry, epsilon. Yes, first of S is what? A comma B comma epsilon. A comma B comma epsilon. Yes, but follow of S is not A comma B comma dollar, because only follow of is S is what? Only dollar. So that's why option A is wrong. Okay, first of S is what? Only epsilon. No, we have in the set of first of S is what? A comma B comma epsilon. So that no need to check further, it is a wrong option. Check the option C. First of S equal to what? A comma B comma epsilon. Okay, and follow of S equal to what? Dollar. Follow of S equal to what? Dollar. So first of S, yes, A comma B comma epsilon, yes, and follow of S is what? Only dollar. Yes, only dollar. So which option is correct here? Option C is correct here. Okay, so first of S, A comma B comma C comma epsilon. No, only what we have in the first of S, A comma B comma epsilon. So that's why option D is again wrong. Okay, which option is correct here? Option C is correct here. Okay guys, let's see the next question. This is the question number 4. Read the question carefully. Which grammar rules violates the requirement of the operator precedence grammar, operator OPG grammar? Okay, where A comma B comma C are the variables and A comma B comma C are terminals. Okay guys, so यहाँ पे हमें find out करना है, we need to find out which production is going to violate the rules of the operator precedence grammar. So first we need to understand what are the rules for the operator precedence grammar. Okay, so a grammar is called what? Operator precedence grammar when grammar does not contains the following productions. जब grammar कौन से productions नहीं contain करेगी, मैं आपको बताने जा रहा हूँ. लेफ्ट हैंड साइड, राइट हैंड साइड पे दो नॉन टर्मिनल्स एक साथ प्रेजेंट नहीं होने चाहिए. ओके, मीन्स नो नीड टू प्रेजेंट टू कॉन्जिक्यूटिव टर्मिनल्स at the right hand side in any production. This is the first condition, and second condition is what? No need to present what? Epsilon in any production at the right hand side of the in any production like this. You can understand. मतलब हमारे ग्रामर में इस टाइप के प्रोडक्शन नहीं होने चाहिए. ओके, if grammar contains that types of production, then it is violating the rule of the operator precedence grammar. Means at the right hand side we do not need what? Two conjugative non terminals, and we also do not need what? Epsilon in any production at the right hand side. Okay, if these two types of production is present in any grammar, then grammar is what? Not operator precedence grammar. Okay, if these two types of production is not present in any grammar, then grammar is what? Operator precedence grammar. Okay, so it is asking you what? कौन से प्रोडक्शंस वायलेट कर रहे हैं? वायलेट्स द रिक्वायरमेंट ऑफ द ऑपरेटर प्रेसिडेंस ग्रामर. सो क्लियरली यू कैन सी फ्रॉम हियर, if consecutive two non terminals is present in any production, then that production will violate the rule of the requirement of the operator precedence grammar. Okay, if any production contains what? Epsilon at the right hand side, then that production will also violate the rule of the operator precedence grammar. Okay, very simple. So here first is what? A tends to BC, and both are what? Non terminal. Both are what? Non terminals, or you can say that what? Variables. So this types of production we do not need in operator precedence grammar. So this is violating the rule. This is violating the rule. Okay. Second, A tends to capital C, small c, capital B, small b. Yes, that types of production can take by operator precedence grammar. So no problem. This is not violating the rule of the operator precedence grammar. Third, A tends to VAC. Yes, no problem. यही दो टाइप के प्रोटेक्शन नहीं होने चाहिए, नो प्रॉब्लम. दिस इज ऑल्सो नॉट वायलेटिंग द रूल ऑफ द ऑपरेटर प्रेसिडेंस ग्रामर. टेक द फोर्थ वन, A tends to epsilon. Here epsilon is present at the right hand side, means it is also going to violate the rule of the violate the rule of the operator precedence grammar. Okay, so इससे हमें कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है थर्ड वाले से, ठीक है. इट्स ए फाइन स्टेटमेंट. सो दीज टू स्टेटमेंट आर वायलेटिंग द रूल ऑफ द ऑपरेटर प्रीसीडेंस ग्रामर. मतलब इस टाइप के प्रोटेक्शन आपके ग्रामर में नहीं होने चाहिए. अगर हैं तो वो ऑपरेटर प्रीसीडेंस ग्रामर के रूल को वायलेट कर रहे हैं और वो ग्रामर आपकी क्या नहीं होगी, ऑपरेटर प्रीसीडेंस ग्रामर नहीं होगी. सो लेट्स चेक द ऑप्शन. फर्स्ट ओनली, मतलब सिर्फ फर्स्ट ही वायलेट कर रहा है, नहीं. फर्स्ट एंड सेकेंड नो. सेकेंड इज नॉट वायलेटिंग द रूल of the operator precedence grammar, only first is violating the rule. Okay, that's why it's a wrong option. First and third no. First is violating the rule of the operator precedence grammar, but third is not going to violate the rule of the operator precedence grammar. So this is not a correct option. Which option is correct here? D, first and fourth. Yes, both the protections here are violating the rule of the operator precedence grammar. So this is here, option D is correct. This is again a good question. This is a question number 5. Which of the following derivations does a top down parser use while parsing an input string? The input is assigned to be scanned in the left to right order. So as we know that top down parser uses what? Leftmost derivation. Top down parser uses what? Leftmost derivation. And bottom up parser uses what? Rightmost derivation in reverse order. Okay, so this is, we can directly give the answer of this question. So top down parser uses what? Leftmost derivation, LMD. Okay, so it is asking you what top down parser, so no need to check anything. Okay, just go through the concept. Okay, directly you can give that types of questions answer and you can save your time. So this is what? Leftmost derivation. Yes, option is correct here. Option is correct here. Top down parser uses what? Leftmost derivation. Understand? Second option is what? Leftmost derivation traced out in reverse order. No. Rightmost derivation. No. Rightmost derivation traced out in reverse order. No. Rightmost derivation traced out in reverse order we need it where? We need in bottom up parser. Okay, so that types of question आप आंसर बिल्कुल तेजी से दे सकते हैं और अपने टाइम को सेव कर सकते हैं. You can save your time. So this is the question number 6. Which of the following statements are true? Which of the following statements are true? So what S1 statement is saying, no L attributed definition can be evaluated in the framework of bottom up parsing. So this is a wrong option. This is a wrong option because L attributed definition can be evaluated in the framework either by bottom up parser or top down parser. वो दोनों से evaluate हो सकते हैं. L attributed definition can be evaluated in the framework either by the bottom up parser or top down parser. So it is saying is what? No. It is saying is what? No L attributed definition can be evaluated in the framework of bottom up parser. No, can be evaluated. Okay, so this statement is not correct. This statement is what? False. This statement is not true. This statement is false because we can evaluate it the L attributed definition either by bottom up parser or top down parser. Okay, so what about this statement S2? Code improving transformations can be performed at both source language and intermediate code level. Yes, so हमें कोड का जो इम्प्रूवमेंट करना, कोड लेवल जो कोड को इम्प्रूव करते हैं, ओके, वो हम लोग सोर्स लैंग्वेज से स्टार्ट कर देते हैं और इंटरमीडिएट कोड लेवल पे भी करते हैं. ठीक है, सो यस, दिस स्टेटमेंट इज करेक्ट. दिस स्टेटमेंट इज करेक्ट. So here which option is true here? S1 is what? False, and S2 is what? True. So S1 only no, this is a false statement. S2 only yes, this is a true statement. This is a true statement. So option B is correct here. both S1 and S2 no, wrong option. Neither S1 nor S2, wrong option, because S2 is a correct statement here. S2 is a correct statement here. Okay, so that's why this question is also good question. Let's see the next question. Question number 7. Again a good question. Consider the following grammar. This is a given grammar. Okay, S tends to what? A, capital S, capital B slash D. Capital B tends to what? B. The number of reduction steps taken by a bottom up parser while accepting the string what? A D B B is. Okay, so you need to calculate what? Total number of reductions. So how you can calculate? Simple. Take the starting symbol what? A, S and B. A, S and B, and try to generate this string. Try to generate what? This string. Okay, so again you will need to replace it what? Again इसको किससे replace करेंगे हम लोग? बॉटम अप पार्सर में राइट मोस्ट वेरिएबल को पहले रिप्लेस करते हैं. राइट मोस्ट वेरिएबल को पहले रिप्लेस करते हैं. सो ए, एस एंड दिस बी. As we know that in bottom up parser, when we are going to generate what? A string, then we need to replace what? Rightmost variable first. Okay, rightmost variable first in each and every state. Okay, so यहाँ पे हमने राइट मोड को पहले रिड्यूस किया. उसके बाद क्या करोगे? उसके बाद यही आपका राइट मोस्ट वेरिएबल है. सो इसको रिड्यूस कर दोगे किससे? ए, एस, बी एंड बी से. अगेन this is the rightmost variable. Okay, so a, s, and we need to reduce it by v. Okay, again we need to replace it by what? A, s, b. A, s, b, b and b. Okay, this is again what? Rightmost variable. We need to replace it, reduce it by what? Is this small b. So what? A. Okay, and this B, we need to replace it what? Again what? B. Okay, and B. So last step is what? We need to replace this S by D, because in between what we have D. Okay, so A, D, B, B, B. The string is generated. So how many reduction is there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. How many reduction we needed? 7 reduction we needed here. Okay, by using the bottom up parser. By using the what? Bottom up parser. Okay guys, so option A 5 reductions, no, wrong option. Option B 6 reduction, no, wrong option. Option C 7 reduction, yes. Option C is correct here, because हमने यहाँ पे देखा कि हमें कितने reduce actions perform करने पड़ रहे हैं by using the bottom up parser 7 to generate this string. To generate what? This string. Okay, so yes, option C is correct here. Let's see the next question. Question number 8. Which of the following is most powerful parsing method? Which of the following is most powerful parsing method? Okay, so we have a relationship in the parsers. What is the relationship? SLR less than what? LALR, and LALR less than what? CLR. CLR is nothing but what? Canonical LR. So clearly you can see from here, SLR less than what? LALR, and LALR again less than from CLR. So who is most powerful here? सबसे powerful कौन हुआ यहाँ पे? Canonical LR. Okay, so directly you can give that types of question answer when you have the concept, you have the basic of the subject. Okay, we will take 3 videos in the compiler. Okay, और हम different questions देखेंगे. Which of the following is most powerful parsing method? LL1 no. Canonical LR yes. Canonical LR is most powerful method. Okay, so option B is correct here. Which option is correct here? Option B is correct here. Okay guys, option B is correct here. SLR no, LALR no. Okay, let's see the next question. Question number 9. A given grammar is called ambiguous. कोई given grammar है आपको, CFG है, वो कब ambiguous कहलाएगी? when two or more productions have the same terminal on the left hand side? No, this is fully blindly wrong option. Okay, let's check the option B. There is a sentence. Sentence is nothing but what? A string. Sentence is nothing but what? A string. Okay, with more than one derivation tree. With more than one derivation tree means is what? Past tree. Okay, आपको लैंग्वेज को समझना होगा. More than one derivation tree means is what? Past tree. Corresponding to it. Corresponding to it. Okay, there is a sentence with more than one derivation tree corresponding to it. So if we are getting what? Two or more than two past tree, okay, for the same sentence or for the same string, then what? Then the grammar is what? Then the given grammar is what? Ambiguous. Okay, if we are getting what? More than one past tree, more than one past tree for the same sentence or for the same string, okay, then the given grammar is what? Ambiguous, otherwise unambiguous. So it is saying you what? Option B is correct here. There is a sentence. Sentence is nothing but what? A string with more than one. Whenever you will get what? More than one past tree for the same string derivation tree, then it is what? Ambiguous. Then it is what? Ambiguous. Option B is correct here. Let's see the option C. Brackets are not present in the grammar. Blindly wrong option. D is also wrong option. So which option is correct here? Option B. So you need to remember the concept. Okay, this is the question number 10. Okay guys, this is the question number 10. Let's see what it is saying from you. Synthesized attribute can be easily simulated by A. Can be easily simulated by A. So first we need to understand what is synthesized attribute. So attribute whose value we are, whose parent value we are going to compute or evaluated by its children. Okay, एक ऐसा एट्रीब्यूट जिसमें हम उसके पेरेंट की वैल्यू उसके चिल्ड्रन से एवेल्यूएट कर रहे हैं, सो वो हमारा क्या होता है? सिंथेसाइज एट्रीब्यूट होता है. सो क्लियरली यू आर सीइंग फ्रॉम हियर मीन्स parent value we are going to take from the children's, means we are doing the process what? Bottom to up manner. We are going to evaluate the parent value bottom up manner. Okay, like this you can take example like this. A tends to what? BC. Suppose this is a production. Here A is what? Parent. So A's value depends on, because we are going to calculate the parent value by the by bottom up manner. Okay, means parent value we are calculating from its children. A value depends on B's value और C's value, दोनों में से किसी एक की वैल्यू पर डिपेंड करेगा. Okay, so this is what here, this is what synthesized attribute. Okay, so this is all about the synthesized attribute. So we are going to calculate what value of the parent through the bottom up manner. So which thing is here is bottom up manner? LL grammar no, ambiguous grammar no, LR parser yes. LR parser is what? Bottom up parser. LR parser is what? Bottom up parser. So that's why option C is correct here. इसलिए यहाँ पे हमारा ऑप्शन सी करेक्ट है. ऑप्शन डी इज अगेन रॉन्ग. सो गाइज दीज आर द 10 क्वेश्चंस. ये 10 क्वेश्चंस को हमने डिस्कस किया. एज आई टोल्ड यू वेरियस टाइम्स दे विल आस्क यू लॉजिकल क्वेश्चंस. ओके, और वो क्वेश्चंस बहुत ही अच्छे क्वेश्चंस होंगे. और हम लोग यहाँ पे 3 वीडियोस लेंगे कंपाइलर की. ये मेरी पहली वीडियोस थी, सेकंड एंड थर्ड आनी बाकी हैं. सो हमारे चैनल को सब्सक्राइब करिए. थैंक यू.
If you really like the video, please hit the like button, share the video, subscribe to our YouTube channel and press the bell icon for the latest updates. Thank you.